Hi folks, this is Jack again at Guitar Showcase in San Jose, California, talking to you through totallyguitars.com. We'll leave that in. Again, we want to talk about cool stuff that we have here at the store and that you may find in other fine musical shops, shop independent, throughout the world. Today it's my privilege to have Teddy Randazzo Jr. He has come up after spending 30 years of his life with a new style of pickup. Those of you who've worked with acoustic guitars before and noticed that for years, well, first we started with Barkus Berry, and those of you old enough to remember that, I know you're cringing as I speak. And then they were replaced by a company called Fishman, who's done many, many fine pickups over the year, but have not, well, they're getting some pretty good stuff, but there's always been something kind of quacky about them. And I don't mean that as in obscure and weird, kind of doctorish quack kind of thing, but they had a little bit of a quack if you hit them hard. But it was what we had, right? So I'm sure almost everybody who's watched this has at least at some time owned or played a guitar with a Fishman pickup. And then there's other people, a company that we have a lot of respect for, the Bob Taylor, Taylor Guitars. They came up with a whole new system, which they really, really like. And it sounds really clear. It's an amazingly interesting pickup in a performance environment, but still, for some, it has something lacking or perhaps too much. Anyway, Teddy has come up with a pickup that, amazingly enough, for a very low nominal fee, which, of course, this being public access, we're supposed to talk about fees, but under a couple $100 bucks. Sounds like the guitar. What a concept. In fact, at this point, I know you're tired of hearing me talking. I like Teddy to kill the pickup, play the guitar, and then bring the pickup up so people can actually hear just how accurately it captures. What do you think?
Excellent, excellent. Well, what we'll do is we'll strum the guitar first by itself with the volume control off. We're just using an ordinary preamp here today, LR bags. I'm going to turn it off. Here's the guitar by itself. Right?
And that's a great sounding guitar. Bob, thank you.
Yes, excellent. I own this guitar, Bob. You're the man. This is my favorite.
The GS Mini.
Anyway. I tour with this. Anyway, so here we go. Right here, the guitar. And then we have... coming through this little Eon speaker here.
A nice flat speaker. We have flat EQ on the mixer.
I believe we just went straight into the speaker. We didn't use a board or anything, right?
So, well, actually, no, we got a little...
Oh, he has a board.
A little POS
He has a board. He's cheating.
But still, notice it sounds like the guitar. One of the challenges with most pickups, particularly the earlier under the bridge pickups, is the E and B string pop out. You know, you go from the D and the G, and then the E and the B are high, 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 which is, if you're doing finger style, can be disconcerting at times. I've run into that problem with my beloved Martin.
Or clipping with some saddle pickups.
Yes.
If you slam on it real hard, such as like this. But we don't get any of that.
Right.
Or in this case.
So you're beginning to see why half the guitar players at Guitar Showcase already have this pickup system in their guitars, and the other half are looking for the money. Very natural sound. So how did you go? Tell me how you went down this path. What prompted you to say, I need to build a pickup?
I was a performer, and I wanted to be heard, and I also wanted to hear myself play. So how could I, when I'm alone and I'm with my guitar and I'm hearing things, if I'm in an auditorium, how do the people hear the same thing, right?
Yeah.
That was the problem. So.
And what's amazing is how few guitar players actually get this. You've heard this before because I say this every time. It's really important to appreciate what the audience is hearing.
Right, and especially when you want to do artistic stuff like. How do you hear that out there in a room that's like a church auditorium or a club? How do you get the same kind of attack out there with an acoustic guitar?
The
Very hard.
articulation is really hard.
Very hard, especially when you want to hear. How do you hear the little high notes and all the little nuances in an acoustic guitar? Unlike a magnetic, magnetics are easy, right? You plug them in and they work all the time.
Yeah.
Acoustic guitar. So, did that answer the question?
Well, yeah. So you started down this path, and you obviously have experimented with lots of different types of material.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead.
Well, microphones were always a problem because you have to stand in front of the microphone, right?
You can't move.
Our audience out there.
And this looks like some kind of Mendocino County necklace kind of stuff. So this is the dual pickup.
Yeah.
I'm holding up. We'll get some close-ups in a second.
It's actually two transducers in every instrument, in every guitar. One goes in front of A string, the other one goes in front of B string. And it's usually right there. So how would I demonstrate that? There's no close-ups on this, but
Well, we'll get some.
We'll get some close-ups.
We'll get some close-ups. So this just mounts in the sound hole. Now, I'm assuming, as it's a small device, that there's no preamp in this. Is totally passive.
right, these are passive. I'm coming out with a preamp in the near future. For now, I just like to leave everything out of the guitar, no batteries in the guitar, nothing in the guitar, so that way the guitar is light, so that it is still acoustically nice when you're alone and you're at home and you want to, right? So because if you put a lot of stuff in the guitar, it can weigh it down from vibrating. So these are very, very light, and they don't weigh the top down at all. As you can see, they're very, very light.
So, and you use some kind of adhesive to plant them on the face of the guitar?
At your hardware store, they have plastic weld, which comes in these little syringes.
It looks like it's a dual bounding agent, so
It is.
it combines the two and off we go.
Right, or any auto parts store. It's the
How
stuff-
difficult is it to remove if they change their mind? Pretty simple?
Pretty simple. The pickup is non-porous, so it pops off. If you, for some reason, want to install or remove it, you can with the razor blade. You pop it into the corner of the pickup, and it'll lift off. And then the hard part is getting it off of the wood, because it'll emulsify with some carburetor cleaner or some, what's that called? Brake cleaner, acetone. That stuff you lay a rag on there, and it won't hurt the wood, it won't damage the wood, it won't stain the wood, it will not unglue the glues that are in the bracings or the bridge plate, because it's not water based, so it softens the glue, and you can rub it out with a rag. It'll come
And
off.
it's not that...
10 minutes it takes.
It's not that damaging to the guitar, even just leave it in there. 'Cause
Not
it's
even.
very lightweight.
Not even damaging.
Okay. Well, that's very cool. But because it's passive, you're using, in this case, we're using one of my personal favorites, the LR Bags Paradii, available at fine music stores everywhere.
Inexpensive, lasts forever, and sounds great.
I have one personally. I bought one for my singer-songwriter whose pickups... Oh, I didn't say that. And then I got one for myself.
He didn't say that. He didn't.
So this is very cool. Now, and you've also got here the violin pickup
Violin pickup.
/ mandolin pickup.
Yeah, we call it the Dazzolin.
And this goes, does this go in the instrument or on the bridge itself? Or?
Well, of course, you're not going to use the guitar jack.
Right.
There is other hardware available for violins, but this has a rounded bottom. It's wood. It's Cocobolo wood. It has a rounded bottom, so that it will concave with the rounded top of the instrument.
Ah.
And it usually goes right between the F hole and the bridge. That's the sweet spot for this pickup. You'll notice that there are three arrows, which was the patented design that I have because of the walls that are alive. The walls vibrate in 3 different directions, having the hearing signals that's going on around it. It's trajectorial. It's a trajectorial pickup, if I may use it.
Sure, we can invent words all the time. We're Americans. Well, Teddy, I think that this is pretty amazing stuff. And ironically, I sort of went out on a limb here because I've never actually heard this before. Chris, one of the salespeople here, came into work one day just going, "Ah, my guitar!" And we never had the time, because we're a busy store, for me to actually sit down and hear his guitar, but he was so amazed. And then Craig had his left-handed guitars done. So I'm really glad we had this opportunity so I could hear it without customers running around and phones ringing.
Right.
Appreciate you coming down here. It's you're calling it the Danzo pickup system?
Dazzo.
Dazzo. Well, they look like
It's a play on my last name, Randazzo.
And
Just
you
think
can
Italian.
find him on, you have a web page and all that good stuff?
Yes, DazzoPickups.com.
So you can get more information, or you can come down and talk to us here at Guitar Showcase. Give us a call, send us an email. We'll be happy to talk to you about this fine stuff. Thank you very much, Teddy.
You're welcome. Or you can email me at teddy@DazzoPickups.com.
There you go.